All right, here we are for another video update. There's just something about video that just feels really good when you're explaining a game, and we're going to go right into questions. If Wildman is successfully funded, will Kings and Castles eventually see the light of day? And the answer is absolutely. You guys probably have heard this before. Kings and Castles is a much, much bigger, more expensive game, kind of on the order of Supreme Commander, but in a medieval setting. You guys know these games cost quite a lot of money to make. So if we can do Wildman, we can sort of bootstrap up, if you will, and then make our way into the bigger games, which would be just awesome. Okay. The next question is, will monsters and or enemies drop gear? Absolutely. This is what action RPG is all about. In the Overland Adventure, you run around and you basically collect up as much as you can. You know, sometimes it's technology, sometimes it's weapons, sometimes it's gear for the wild man because he's your hero. Sometimes it's gold, and then you can use that gold in the battle. Okay, now people have also asked, well, if I use all that gold up in the battle, will the monsters respawn? And that's a really, really great point, and I think the answer is some of them probably should, and some of them probably shouldn't. It all depends. This is what the name of the game is here, and what we'll do is we'll figure out, should we balance the game around these the war zone encounters, like do you have to go out and save your money before you can go to war? Or would you have to then go back and sell some of your gear off to generate some gold? So I think what would happen is we'd probably spawn a bunch of monsters and enemy encounters all over in the terrain in order to go and gather up some more money, or just jump back in with what you have and try to get your gold out of the actual battle. Because during battle, every enemy you put down is going to produce some gold. Will there be giant boss battles? You know, in our mind, there's bigger battles that can happen, like say you go into a cave and you're fighting some small stuff, but you get to the end of the cave adventure, and there's a big boss there that you can put down, action RPG style. I like that a lot. But then the real boss is the war zones, right? When you get into these big battles, and you've got units and you get your armies moving across the field. I mean, this is like a big boss battle in a way, except that you've got an army. When your wild man is attacking an enemy stronghold, will there be a siege element? Do you have to break down the gates, smash walls, etc.? I think this is awesome. Obviously, they're in a fortress or a stronghold of some kind. In the mid-game, I think early on, this is to kind of keep consistent with the time progression of the game. So early on, you don't have heavy stuff. You have lighter siege stuff. Maybe you have a big rock that you can sort of shoot on this, you know, sling or something. That's kind of more primitive. But in the mid game and in the late games, you can get into trebuchets, ballistas, and things like that. That kind of maps roughly to the history of the world. I think we can be creative, though. I think we can come up with some really crazy stuff in there. So the answer is yes. Next question is, art-wise, will there be a diverse world, desert, Arctic tundra, and so forth? We have 3 terrain sets, if you will. Okay, so we have the jungle, we have the forest, and right now we have the desert. We have cave, so we have the 3 outdoor ones, and then we have cave, and we have the dungeon for the mid-game and late game. Okay, and what's really cool is the tools I'm going to show you. Even though I don't have those sets yet, I'm going to show you the tools, and you're going to be able to make your own dungeon sets and your own cave sets, and actually mod the game, and then have your friends play through these things and design your own overland adventures, and of course set up your big war zones. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It basically, they're asking when the units are equipped, will there be visible changes on the characters? Absolutely, absolutely. And so if you go out and you go from a club to a sword, the guys are all coming out of the barrack with a sword now. Absolutely visual change in the units. Why didn't GPG make a pure RTS to appeal to the Legion of TA and SupCom fans? I guess this answer is similar to the Kings and Castles answer, where folks wanted to know why we didn't continue with that. Doing an RTS game on that epic scale would cost so much more than Wildman. And can you imagine what people would say to me if they saw this little shrunk down RTS game with a few units? I think we have to go big, or wait until we can go big. All right, so I hope you understand that Wildman is a different game, in that we can actually start at one part of the game and start building it over time, and it just fits the development model of working with the the community, the crowdfunding, crowdsource model, it just fits in better because I want to get people playing the game as early as possible. Okay, so it's just a better fit. But you're right. If there was a way that I could do an RTS game at this point, I would love to. So if you're watching this and you're a publisher and you want to come talk to me about doing Kings and Castles or a big RTS game, I think you know where to find me.